Today's video is going to be just a little bit different because I'm going to share with you guys a pretty unique lantern that I received not very long ago. I'm also going to mention a few channels that I think you should subscribe to. One of them is Scout Crafters and one is Bob the Lantern Guy. Now Bob the Lantern Guy has passed away, but he did a lot of videos on lanterns. He shared his experience and it was very extensive and he had a really good collection. One day Scout Crafter was talking with Bob and Bob came up with this bright idea, pun intended, and that idea was to have sort of a lantern light off. Basically he thought it would be a great idea if we all shared our lanterns and lit them up all on New Year's, and maybe we could get something coast to coast happening where everybody did this. Now, as I said, unfortunately Bob passed away. However, Scout Crafter has continued this tradition year after year. And last year, another channel that goes by Time Flies in the Shop, he decided to show off some lanterns as well and continue the tradition. I will put a link to his channel down below as well. He does a lot of tool restorations and he's also very entertaining to watch. So what makes today's lantern unique? Well, it is a highway driving lamp. It's actually made by a company out of Canada called the E.T. Wright Company. This lantern was literally made to bolt onto a vehicle or maybe even a buggy. That's why it has this bracket right here on the side. It has a red lens that you would obviously point towards the back of the vehicle, and then it has a white lens. It's a little bit magnified so you can use it as kind of a driving light, hence why they called this a driving lamp. It did come with some paperwork, and I find it fascinating that this guy's probably never even been used and it still has the original paperwork. It gives us some clues on how this lamp should be operated. As mentioned before, it's designed to kind of fasten onto the side of a vehicle or a buggy. It has this little bracket that it slips into. That way you could bolt this onto the buggy or the car, and you could slip the lantern in place. It clamshells together, so basically friction allows you to open it up kind of like this so you can service it and light it. And the burning mechanism itself sits in a little pot that can be removed. To remove, service, and fill the pot, you give it a counterclockwise twist and it pulls straight off. And I find it interesting that there is some cotton material that the manufacturer advertises as asbestos to kind of keep everything in place so it doesn't slop around when you're driving. So let's go ahead and light this up and see how well it operates. And it operates just like any other lantern. It has a little dial here that you can turn the wick up and down, so you're going to adjust that appropriately. We'll close the clamshell back up, snap it into place, turn off the lights, and see how much light it's projecting. Now the lantern is in the left side of the screen. I'm going to turn off my camera light, and I'm actually impressed how much light it is projecting. Now it's nothing like a headlight, it's nothing like a really good flashlight, but it is putting out enough light that you could see around, and if you had a couple of them on your buggy, it would definitely be better than nothing. So you can see how that magnified lens works. It's very directional and it's quite nice for just a lantern. The red lens on the back is also relatively bright, so if you came up on a car or a buggy, you would hopefully see it with this mounted in the right position. Now I really had a lot of trouble finding information about this lantern, so if you know anything about it, please write in the comments down below so we all can learn a little bit more. I did find a few auctions online that had sold this model in the past and they advertised it as a railroad light, but I really don't think this was a railroad light, and the documentation we have advertises it as a highway lamp. So I want to end this video with a Happy New Year. Hopefully next year just brings nothing but pure luck and joy. If you like these types of videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. Take a look at some of my other videos and at the very least, you might be entertained.